Hi, I'm Joseph, co-founder of the Abundant Culture Fund, and today we're getting ready to analyze an investment opportunity that has the ability to help you grow your retirement income faster than you ever thought possible and with less risk. Now, a lot of people don't realize that they can actually use small businesses as a retirement vehicle. And I believe that it's the best retirement vehicle out there because not only does it generate way more income than traditional retirement assets like stocks, bonds, and multifamily real estate, as you'll see later on in this video, but if you have the right team in place, it also has a lot less risk as well. So if you take a look at my screen, you'll see that there is a sign business for sale. And let's talk about some of the things that actually stand out to me with this business. So the first thing that stands out to me about this listing is that they are offering seller financing with the business, which basically means that instead of having to go to the bank for all the money that you'll use for an acquisition or just come up with all the cash, basically the seller is saying, hey, we're going to take this chunk off right here. Let's call it $50,000. And with that $50,000, you'll just pay me on a monthly basis and you'll negotiate what the interest rate will be and the other terms might be with it. But it's basically like instead of just paying the bank, you're just paying them that $50,000 or however much you agree upon over time. So let's see, is there anything else that stands out to me about this? It's a 14-year-old business that has established repeat customers. Oh, yeah, this is a big thing for me. So we're going to analyze it anyway. Traditionally, I don't buy franchises anymore for several reasons. One of my growth strategies for businesses is to actually franchise it, and I can't franchise a business that is already, basically a franchisee in somebody else's franchise. And two, there are times when being a franchisee can actually stunt the growth of your business because you have to be very careful about how you split up territories and how you're marketing and different things of that nature. So I just don't do them. But they are good investment opportunities for people who are interested in that type of thing. So we're still going to go ahead and we're going to analyze it. So let's look into the numbers. So the asking price is $575,000 and it has a gross revenue of $726,000 and it has furniture, fixture, and equipment of 200 grand. That's pretty impressive, and it kind of makes sense because it's a sign business that equipment can get very expensive. And the only reason I know is because my wife's father actually owns a print shop, and his is very very small, but his equipment is still very expensive as well. So I can only imagine, how high that number can get, especially as you get way more sales, basically. So it has a cash flow of $239,000, has $5,000 worth of inventory, and the rent is $2,200 per month, and it was established in 2008. I'm impressed by pretty much any business that started in 2008. I think that's just a very interesting time to actually start a business. So whoever owns this, I definitely commend you because you are a trooper for starting a business then. So what would this business look like if my fund picked it up, and what would my investors make from it if I basically called this owner up and bought this business for my investment fund? Uh, you can take a look at this fund calculator spreadsheet that I have, but most of these numbers won't really matter to somebody who's just passively investing into the fund. This is all data that I use to make very sound investment decisions for on the behalf of my fund, but the numbers that matter most are the ones that are color coded. So focus on the ones that are color coded because they're a lot easier to understand. And plus, if you are an investor, there is the number that you would care most about anyway. So as you can see up here in the light green, we have 575,000 because that's the amount of money that would be invested into basically the company based off of the asking price. And assuming that we don't use any leverage and we don't grow the business, that business should continue to cash flow at least $239,000. And off of that cash flow, my investors would make a 30% return on their money. Like I always say, show me another asset class that can generate a 30% return with no leverage and without growing the asset at all. Small businesses are, in my opinion, hands down the best asset because of numbers like that. So as a as a dollar amount, that 30% return would equate to $177,000 that would get paid to our basically our investors after expenses and all that stuff is taken out. $177,000 off of a $575,000 investment. I don't think that's bad at all. So how does this return stack up against, other traditional retirement assets and their return, like stocks, bonds, and multifamily real estate? So let's take a look at that. I actually have a calculator for that too, a retirement income comparison calculator. So I looked up the numbers. I researched and looked up and studied the numbers for stocks, bonds, and multifamily real estate. And I found out that if you don't use financial leverage and if you don't include growth, what you will make in income off of those assets as a return is 6%. So let's say you invested $500,000 into any of those assets, your return, your annual income would actually be pretty much no more than $30,000, sometimes a little bit less, especially if you're investing in most dividend paying stocks. But you can invest that same $500,000 into that type of deal inside the Abundant Culture Fund and get 30% on your money. And then your annual income will actually jump to $154,000, which is very significant, coming from $30,000 all the way up to $154,000. So that is $124,000 difference. So you will make $124,000 more investing in those type of assets in the Abundant Culture Fund as opposed to the traditional retirement income assets, which equates to basically a 515% increase in income, which is significant. You're making over a little bit over 5 times more with these assets as opposed to traditional retirement assets. So if you had a goal of basically saying that, oh, I just want to make $60,000 of income in my retirement and then I'm set, I don't need to make any more, how much would I have to invest in order to generate that income? Well, with traditional assets, you would have to invest $1 million, which some people already have that invested. A lot of people don't. But with Abundant Culture Fund, with the type of assets we invest in, if we were using the return from that deal that we were just looking at, you would only have to invest $193,000 in order to get the same $60,000 income that you would usually have to invest $1 million for. So you tell me, what sounds better? What sounds easier, investing $1 million or investing $193,000 and getting the same goal? I'm picking the 193 all day. But what that does from just a money standpoint is now that's $806,000 that you no longer have to invest into your retirement in order to reach your goal. So Abundant Culture Fund and its assets actually gets you there quicker and more efficient. So think about all the things you could do with $806,000 of money that used to have to go to retirement, that now you can basically have it in your bank account, spend it how you want, how you like to. Basically, you can give more to charity, you can buy houses, you can buy cars, or you can continue to invest that money and make way, way more than 190 or make way, way more than $60,000 a year in income. So that pretty much concludes our analysis for today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're somebody who wants to double your retirement income with less investment, less risk, and less fees, reach out to us at abundantculturefund.com. Also, if you're a small business owner who wants to sell your business because you need to focus on the next phase of your life, feel free to reach out to us again at abundantculturefund.com. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.